Welcome back to you. It's 10 o'clock. It's Monday, the 23rd of March. 6797 FM104 is our phone number. Can I go to Kenneth? Kenneth, how are you?
Oh, thanks.
Not bad. Okay, it's 10 o'clock at night, and are you seriously saying there's an eviction going on?
Absolutely, pal, yeah, and we're over more than 50 people it is, yeah?
Right.
50 people standing outside the homes at the moment, yeah? Down on North King Street there in the middle of Cabra there, just that Grange there, pal, yeah? Today, at about earlier than that, pal, yeah? Probably about 7:30, yeah, today. Guards came down and angle grinded through the door with the security men, and other men as well, and I don't really know who they were, you know? But they claim with false documents that they own the place and they have rights to the place, and they certainly don't.
Are you saying that people who's in, just to tell people, there are people living in it looks like a warehouse?
There is, Chris. They don't really want to be named, but
I don't want to name them, but they are living there.
Oh, they're living there, yeah. They took this place up as a compound, say, yeah?
Right.
It's a compound. And what they've made with this compound, including myself, we took a burned down building that had two burnt down houses. We took that and built that straight back up from the ground bricks right back up to the roof. We did. The second, it must have took over a few grand to do this, and then say this fella comes.
And they're kicking you out now, essentially.
They're kicking us all out now, and they're kicking us. We done up the whole garden. They have a big, huge compound. It's probably about 4 acres wide, and I swear they've done gardens for the kids that go to the school next door, and they've done them, let's say, ecologically, say, you know, and they've done it properly for the kids that go to the school.
So what you're saying is, all right, these yourself.
It's all good for the community.
How many people live there, roughly?
About 50.
50, okay. And they're being evicted now?
Every single one of them are sitting outside their doors, and they're sitting on top of the gates, and they're sitting everywhere. There's no way that we're letting this place go. They're throwing physically throwing people out of their houses.
And isn't it a bit odd to do it at 10 o'clock at night?
Well, it's a bit heartless to do it at 10 o'clock at night, do you not think so? There's enough people out there in the streets that's out there right now, do you know? I've only seen it in the paper there the other day that there's only so many people on the streets. Well, that's an absolute lie, because you've got another 30 people out now on the streets, probably 40, 50, say. They've got a helicopter right now, standing up over the whole lot of them, shining it down on them right now, do you know? And is that not intimidation, Chris, no? You
see, people might say to you, all well and good, you took over a place that was run down, it was in bits, you built it up, you know, these people spent a lot of money on it, but it's technically not their property. That's why they're kicking you out.
No, it was to give back to the people, no? Outside, everybody has a problem. There's no community because we do nothing communally. I heard a friend say that. You know, that we were doing something community. Yeah,
but they can simply say to you, fair enough, pal, you know, it's not your gaff, so we're going to kick you out.
But it's not theirs either, because they've no legal papers to say that.
Have you?
Well, no, we don't. But
there you go.
Well, they have documents to say, like, see, this is what it's all about. They have documents there to say, pal, yeah, that at the end of the day, they've get their post here, they've been living here for over 2.5 years, and nobody's came near them. This is a NAMA-owned place.
Yeah, probably is, yeah.
No, man, this is a NAMA-owned
And when
place.
it comes time to sell, they'll just kick you out. For what you're saying, is there's a standoff between you guys and the guards?
Right now there is. Right now there is. And it's not just the guards. The guards are helping them with illegal documents. The documents that they have do not stand.
Okay, that's up for the courts to decide, you know. I mean, that's up for the courts to decide, not you or I. But the bottom line is, how you're saying you're not going anywhere. Yourself and your friends aren't going anywhere.
We're not budging. What's the point? What's What's everyone going to do? Huddle around in a circle, Chris, is it? Do you know what I mean? Or pretend to be warm on the cold nights that we're having.
So when you were told, look, time's up, we know that you're in the place for...
Told, Chris, you weren't told. You weren't told time's up. Like every other landlord in this tip, you weren't told time's up. They came in, angle grinding down the door at 7:30 this morning, and it was all over. They never said time's up. They got everybody in a little bunch and bundled them all in together with fences. There were 2 girls there. They were absolutely assaulted by 2 guards, and they were only 4'9". The copper was about 6'3". Big culty. Do you know what I mean?
And
what sense does that make?
So
you know what I mean?
it's like a mass eviction. 50 people. So the bottom line is, like or lump it, 50 people are being kicked out of what was their home.
No, 50 people they're trying to kick 50 people out of their home. What they've done is they took control of the compound. And they've gathered everything around the compound and started lighting fires they have. These men, they've started lighting fires. The garden that they've done, the whole lot, they've started lighting it all on fire. They have in front of everybody. So the boys that's standing on the gates, trying to make sure that they're not getting out or not going in anymore, they're shaking and physically pulling them down off the gates. Now, as a peaceful protest, you're not allowed to do that. I get that, no?
Do you feel intimidated now?
I do feel intimidated, Chris. Of course I feel intimidated, because you can't even, you have to stay inside, or else if they come inside, you're getting fucked out. Like, you're sleeping on the streets tonight, fact. Do you know what I mean? It's not as if everybody has places.
What if they said, obviously people, talk to each other. What if they said, have they said, get out, this is not your place anymore, you are being evicted, goodbye?
They haven't even said that, Chris. They haven't even said that. And they won't say that because they know that the papers that they have is not legal. They cannot say that. Do you know? They came in this morning and angle grinded through the walls. Do you know what I mean? Now, that's not knocking on a fucking door, like. Do you know what I mean? That's angle grinded through your wall and saying, wake up. Get the fuck out. And they didn't even get the chance to pack their stuff, do anything like that. They were physically put up against the wall with a fence by about... And as you can see it on the video, Pat, I have it there on my Facebook page.
No, we're having a look at the video. We had a look at the video.
You can see on the video, you know what I mean? You can see all this, that they're doing absolutely nothing wrong with standing there, and all these guards and all these security and these workmen, all they are doing is harassing them. Am I wrong?
So what do you think is going to happen in the next 24 hours? Honestly, Kenneth, what's your bottom line? What do you think is going to happen?
I can see that there. I could see literally between the men, the way they're carrying on down there, the workers, I can see there being violence between the men and the people that live in the house. Do you know? I mean, well, there's a lot more than one house down here. There's like 7, 8 houses down here. And what are people supposed to do? Just pack up and leave and sit out on the...
people might say, were you using it as a squat? In a sense, you were.
It can't be recognised as that, could it? If you recognise that to a guard, if you recognise that that's what that is to a guard, like if you've taken vacancy and have nowhere to live...
Have you squatters' rights? I'm not sure, do you?
You know what I mean? Well, I'd imagine they do. They're there over like 2 years. I'd imagine they do. They have papers, the whole lot off this.
So the whole idea is, all right, they want you...
papers off this than the man himself that's claiming to own it.
They want you out and they don't care how you get out. They just... You see, the odd thing, a lot of people don't like the idea...
College, Chris. They're putting up a new college around the road is all it is. Do you know? They're putting up a new college up the top of the road, they are, Chris. And anybody that doesn't suit that college, or anybody that doesn't look like they fit in around that college, is absolutely getting evicted. Everywhere around this whole college, you go around it, the whole thing, the Grange Gorman College, yeah, you go around the whole Grange Gorman, you will see every single house, apart from the big George and red bricks, apart from them, you'll see every single one of them are boarded up and getting knocked down at the moment.
But you guys took it over just for a place to live, essentially. Well, not you guys, the people you're talking about. They took it over just for a place to live.
Chris, let's be honest here, right? Let's be honest here, yeah? If you had absolutely nowhere to go, and you walk past a house that you've seen nobody's lived in since probably the 1930s, what would you do? Would you just stand outside it and go, oh, I'll wait and see if there's someone come back? Or would you walk in, tidy the place up a bit, make it look a little comfortable? Do you know what I mean? At least then when if the person did come back, they knew you weren't doing nothing wrong.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They could simply ask you to leave and you could do that as a person. Do you know what I mean? But not with Lynch.
No, I see where you're coming from. You saw a place, it was derelict, nobody was living there. You said, right, at least we live there, have a roof overhead, we'll clean it up, we'll do something with it.
6 months, Chris, yeah. But 6 months to build a studio up there, build it from the ground.
But you should have, come on, common sense will tell you, we're squatting there, we're in somebody's house. Yes, it's probably a kip, you've done it.
This is a 4-acre compound, Chris, this isn't just somebody's house.
I know, but alright, but there's a lot of people who took that over. But it wasn't, it wasn't theirs to begin with. That's the problem. Everyone, every human being...
It might not have been theirs to begin with, but what was anybody else doing, Chris, at the time? Do you know what I mean? All this man did that says he owns this place, yeah? And he hasn't got the legal papers to say that he does. That's a fact. There's no legal papers. When we asked for ones, we were shown none. When we were asked for legal papers, we were shown none.
Do you feel that...
When they asked
you... all right.
We were able to hand that over in a heartbeat to them. We were able to hand all that. Have a look at this. There's a paper here that says the section that it's ours.
Okay, all right. You've squatters' rights. That's about it. But did it ever occur to you? Okay, you've squatted in a place. You've done a lot of work. They've done a lot of work. They made it their home. And I'm glad you're honest, Kenneth. I'm glad you're honest when you turned around and said, what would you do if you had no place to live and you walked by a house every day, it was boarded up and there was no one living there? You'd move in if you were desperate. Of course you would.
Of course you would.
Now, but surely to God, hang on, Kenneth, surely to God you should have realised, wait a minute.
Let me just say this, Chris, yeah? They wanted to move all the homeless into about 70 flats. Are they mad? But they want to take away a compound that people are actually doing something right. I mean, come on, Chris, let's put it right here. You move the whole of the fucking homeless Dublin into 70 flats. As bad as it is now, you'll make it 10 times worse in a heartbeat. Now, in a New York minute, you'll make it 10 times worse. Everybody, you'll be doing all sorts in them flats.
So what is the scene, Kenneth, what's the scene now? A bit of a standoff between yourself and the guards.
Is that you're not allowed drink inside the compound. You're not allowed smoke inside the compound. There's people down here that don't smoke and don't enjoy it. There's people down here that don't drink and don't enjoy it. There's sections in this place for you to do these things. There's music, there's art. There's all these things. The circus was down here, Chris, last week. Yeah, hanging off the bleeding ceilings. Oh, straight, the circus was down here last week. This is how much use this place is. And they don't get charged. It's all free of charge. And everybody knows this that knows the place. It's all free of charge. There's not.
But now you're being kicked out. Now you're being kicked out.
Now we're being kicked out, yeah, exactly. So what good is that doing to anything? What good is that doing to the community, Chris? You know?
Okay, hold on a second. There you have his dilemma. From what we can look, we're looking at Facebook now. There's a standoff between 50 people and the guards. It is an eviction. They are being kicked out. They were squatting, let's be honest. It isn't theirs to have, but he feels they should have squatters' rights. Give us your views on that. 6797 FM104 is our phone number. You want to hear some of the text messages that we're getting already. We'll come back to it a little bit later, just very quickly. Is it Cale? Hello, Cale.
Hi, Chris.
How are you? Where are you?
Grand, Singlet.
Okay, go ahead.
I helped Kenny. I'm only 17 years age, and we helped set up all that place, and we were setting up a studio to record music.
Right.
And we starting up everything for the whole lot of the kids. Ken helped me, and I've been to the squatter, brought me little brothers. They spray painted. There's every facility down there. There's it's not a harmful environment.
It's all to keep the kids off the streets.
I know, but the thing is, it's Cale. You know, who owns the place? Did you buy it? No. Did you rent it? No. Did you have an agreement with NAMA? No. They own it. They took it over. And it's not nice when anyone is kicked out. I agree with you. What's happening now is that a lot of people are being kicked out, correct?
Yeah, but I have family, I have a family member that, I'm not mentioning names, but she lives there, and she's kicked out now. And where's she gonna live? You know what I mean? There's stuff like that going on, but that studio, with all the kids that was looking forward to going in and had stuff recorded that they could express themselves through an art form, that they can't do that anymore.
There you have it, Chris. And that's it. That's from a 17-year-old young fella. I'm 26 myself. That's from a 17-year-old young fella. There's young fellas 14 and 15. Young fellas 13 down there, that is, Chris. 12 years of age there is down here, Chris. And all I want to do is just teach them how to do that thing. Do you know? And not go out there on the corner and think, oh yeah, I can make more money from the corner than I ever could with music. If you have a talent, use it. You know? Okay,
I want to read this to you. Ask him what has he ever done for his own life. He's like the rest of the freeloaders and whinging. He's had 2 years to save up for his own way of life. Instead, he gets on the radio show and thinks the world is against him.
I don't live down here, Chris. The world is certainly not against me. The world is certainly not against me. I do not live down there.
They're calling your mates in the house freeloaders. That's what they
can call them what they want. Everybody has to pay their way through this world. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it's not their place. They can't. You can't just take over a house and say, "I've done it up. You can't let me out. You can't kick me out."
But it's not about that, Chris.
But it is. It is that simple. It is that simple.
Back to the paper now, Chris. Yeah, and all we ever hear is the homeless died on the street. The homeless done this. The homeless done that. Well, now you've got another 50 fucking homeless to be talking about.
Yeah.
There's people in there, right? Hold on there, Chris, right? There's people in there from all over the world, all over the world. They're all like, I'm not going to say the word foreign, it's a stupid word, yeah? There's people there from Spain, there's people there from Brazil, there's people there from England, there's people there from Indonesia. Do you get me?
I get you. Are you getting me, though? It wasn't theirs to take over in the first place.
Chris, it doesn't matter.
It does matter. It does matter. You can't just walk into someone's property and say, I'm taking it over, it's derelict, it's a heap of shit, you're not looking after it, we'll make something out of it, and Bob's your uncle. If you try and kick us out, you're evicting us, and how dare you?
Chris, it was burned down to the ground. Are you listening to me? It's burned down.
It's still
to
not.
the ground, bro. I had to build the road.
You still can't take. You still. You still can't take it over.
Doing something for the community, like you have to hear me out here, Chris.
We heard what you said about. We heard all that. We heard all. Look.
Freeloading here. Look at the amount of empty fucking houses in Dublin. Look at the amount of them. There should be more people in them rather than sitting out on the fucking streets. There should be well more.
And you know something? I'd say everybody agrees with you. But the bottom line is, the reason why you're being evicted, or your mates are being evicted now, is because they don't own it.
It doesn't matter, but come here.
It does matter, Kenneth.
Chris, my whole point is, Chris, yeah, that if they don't own it, okay, no problem. They don't own it. But the people that are kicking them out do not own it. Do you get me?
Well, Nama own it and they can do what they want with it.
Add up. I've read them. They have documents that do not add up, pal.
Well, obviously they're in a better position than you, unfortunately. I mean, look, nobody likes the idea of anybody being kicked out of whatever they call a home at the moment. But the bottom line is, if you take over a place, and then you know the day is going to come when somebody somewhere is going to kick you out.
Oh, come here, Chris. Check this out. Right, hold on for a second. Right, if we could turn around...
You're right. It was a shack. It was nothing.
Chris, give me 2 seconds now, right? If we could turn around to some parents, yeah? Or any one of these boys, right? They'll probably all start ringing you. If we could turn around to anyone, any parent, yeah? And say, yeah, look, if your child can do graffiti, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Chris, let's put it this way, right? You get into trouble doing graffiti on the walls around here up in the garden. Do you know what I mean? Well, you wouldn't down here. It's not like that. I'd spray the wall. I'd paint the whole walls white for you to come down here and...
So, okay, can I ask you, Kenneth?
Hold on a second, Chris.
Look, I know what you're saying. There's a lot of good stuff happening. Fair enough. Can I just stick to the bare facts here? You have a situation where you have people being evicted now. Okay.
Don't forget to say that they're being evicted by people that do not own the place.
Okay, in your opinion, you're not the law, you're not the judge, you're not the jury, okay? So the law will decide that, not you and not me. Okay.
People on fake allegations.
Okay, they're your allegations. You know, I don't...
Come here, here's one for you.
Kenneth, I don't have the other side of the story, so don't push it too much, all right?
You know the man that came down, right?
I don't want to hear about the man that came down. For your own sake, don't be stupid in this now, Kenneth, for God's sake.
Came down, right? He turned around to me and says to me, yeah, I built everything in the studio, say, right, and I took it out of my own pocket, right, and I said to the man, I says, come here, do you mind, I says, right, I says, if we go in and get all my equipment, I said, about $3,000, I'd imagine, I swear, about $3,000, and he says to me, yeah, of course you can, yeah, I said, right, thank you very much, and I used my manners, and he turned around and says to me, he goes, have you got a receipt? I said, sorry? He says, have you got a receipt? I says, okay. I says, no, I don't have a receipt for the stuff that I've bought and gotten lens off me friends, like me music equipment, all me stuff. I do not have all, like I don't have any receipts for that. Like, it's music, pal. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, hold on a second. We take your point. Hold on a second. Are these guys out to lunch? Have they any rights whatsoever? They're convinced they have. They have taken over. It looks like a couple of rundown shacks, to be honest with you. And as he said, what would you do if you were homeless? You saw... a building nobody was living in and you made something out of it. And now the time has come where they're being evicted. 6797 FM104 is our phone number. Sarah's on line 3. Sarah, a lot of people calling them idiots, freeloaders, you name it.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not paying for it, you have to get out of it when you have to get out of it. That's it.
Why would you say that, love? Come here, here's one for you.
Why wouldn't I? Here,
I had a member of your family. I had a member of your family that was a stupid little bollocks, right, and couldn't do fuck all with himself, yeah, but had some sort of a little talent or done something to himself there, yeah, went off and done it on his own. Now, if you could send him to me, I'd send that young fella back, not a bother, a little bit better, you know what I mean? Out straight. I've done all this myself, do you know what I mean? I've done it all myself as a little young fella growing up, the whole fucking lot. And the scene around here, the scene in Dublin, is a load of bollocks. Every young fella around here picking up fucking guns, and if not, they're picking up fucking needles. They're picking up one or the other, and it always seems to get worse. The only thing we're trying to do was just make things better around here, yeah?
And you did, but the problem was it wasn't your property to do it in, Kenneth. That's the problem.
These don't see the hell. My issue with them is, Chris, that they won't let me in and get all my stuff. My issue with them, they won't let me go in and get all my stuff. They ask me for receipts for it. I asked the man, I says to him, this is the man that says he owns this place. Look, I says to him, I says, sorry, pal. I says, well, I'm not going to say, have you got a receipt? I says, well, have you got documents to show that you own this place? He says, yes, I have. I swear to you, Chris, I read every single one of them. I'm not a stupid young fella, look. I've read every one of them, and they don't add up. And everybody else has handed these papers that said the same thing. And these people aren't just...
Okay, you're convinced you're right, and he's convinced he's right. Fair enough. The bottom line is, you moved into a place. It wasn't yours. It wasn't any. It isn't yours. You didn't pay for it. You didn't rent it. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah, you did a lot of good work. Yes, you put something very positive into it. People are calling you a freeloader. Chris he said you would have no problem in moving out if the owner came back. So what happens now? The owner has come back. This type of idiots who live off the state are vermin. My God, that's putting it mildly. Sarah, you're not happy with this guy at all?
No, I'm not. And what if this guy that owned the property done him for breaking an entry?
Okay, he'll deny. But the bottom line is, it wasn't theirs in the first place.
Yeah, listen to me, pal. Yeah, I do it all myself, yeah, and I've done it all as a young fella growing up being a stupid little cunt, yeah. So I'd rather see the young fellas growing up around here with a little bit of cop on, or probably a little bit of sense in their head, yeah. Maybe they could actually...
How much cop on is it to take over a place that isn't yours?
What do you mean?
How much cop on is it to take over a building that clearly you have no rights to whatsoever, and then you get upset and you start giving out about landlords and everybody else when they're kicking you out?
Right, come here. How much cop on does it take, yeah? 25 years of age I am, yeah? Do a fucking petition, yeah? Of nearly every 25-year-old young fella fucking Dublin. Half of them are selling drugs, the other half are taking them, yeah? And at the end...
Do you want a fucking Blue Peter badge? Is that what you're looking for?
I am, yeah? You know what, a bit of cop on, Puck. For me to turn around and say, here, you know what, that could be a good building there. Nobody's used it for fucking years.
And you know something? There's nobody that would disagree with you, Kenneth. There's nobody that disagree with it. Yeah, what you did was positive, it was good, but you didn't have any rights to the building.
It's not your property. You may get over it. It's as simple as that.
What do you mean? Come here, love. The way I'm trying to say it is, right? Imagine, right, you own your home.
Say what you want. The property was not yours to use.
At the end of the day, love, yeah.
So when the property owner comes back and tells you to get out, you may just accept it and get out.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It does matter. It was burnt to the ground. It was burnt to the ground.
Okay, well, how responsible was it for you to bring kids in there?
Fucking deaf ears there. It was burnt to the ground.
She heard you the first time. You still don't have a right to be there.
It doesn't matter. When I put the place
it does matter.
Put that place up,
did you rent it? Did you buy it? Did you lease it? No is the answer to all three. You took it over. You did something very positive with it. You made a life. You helped people out. And unfortunately, the owners come back and said, I want it back, thank you. Goodbye.
You're a bit of help and you're making me out to be the bad guy. The way I see things is, Chris, yeah, we never charged anyone for this.
How could you charge anyone for something? What are we going to charge them for?
Are you serious, Chris?
What were you going to charge them for? I don't know what you're offering.
And it sounds like he's looking for a Blue Peter badge for doing this. But you know what? All you've done is taught them that they can take over somebody's property and get away with it. But it's not going to fucking happen.
Come here. If this thing was built in the 1920s, you bleeding gobshite. Where am I talking about?
If it was built in the 1800s.
Tell me where I'm talking about then. Tell me where I'm talking about. Where am I talking about? If you fucking know everything, tell me where I'm talking about then. You dumb bitch, you haven't a clue. Shut your mouth and get off the phone, you.
It doesn't matter, the building isn't yours.
You're sitting there looking up.
It's out in the middle of a field.
Answer there, you dumb.
You dumb.
Get off the phone, you haven't a clue. You got on the phone to give her a rant.
You're the dumb fuck. You're the dumb fuck. Listen to me now, it doesn't matter if the building is out in the middle of a field. If it's not yours, it's not yours to use. Then fucking of, you absolute fucking moron.
What you need is, you need the community behind you for this.
Kick bastard.
Which you do, and you have.
That's a deadly word to be shaking now, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Let me tell you, come here, love. Come here, I'll show you literature has a little more sense.
Call me love.
I'm sure your sense has it. You know what I mean? You're a dumb yoke. At the end of the day, right, what I'm trying to say is,
I'm not the one that went into a building thinking I could have it and not pay for it.
It was only
Don't call me the dumb bitch, you're the dumb cunt.
Pay for it when there was nobody there to pay it. If your man had turned around to me and said to me, give me €500 a week, I'd have fucking charged everybody to pay them, not a bother.
Okay, hold on a sec. We'll come back to you in a second. 6797 FM104 is our phone number. Kenneth, just for people joining us late, I know we're getting the video now, but just precisely where it is, just precisely in Dublin where it is.
King Street it is, so everybody fucking knows now, so you can turn around and say it to me. It's on North King Street it is there, just at the Grange Gorman pal, yeah?
Okay.
That's exactly where it is. There's a big school, there's two big primary schools around there, so. And the kids, you know, Jordan, like the summer days, like, the kids even come around there and they all do things in the garden, show.
Okay, hold on a second. You're getting an unusual response. I think fair play to Kenneth. Well done for trying. Let me see. He's just trying. People giving out about the government. Let me see. People giving out about calling him scum, calling him a rat. All sorts of stuff coming into us. 6797 FM104 is our phone number. So, by the way, when did the guys take over this? How many years ago was this, Kenneth?
2.5, Chris.
2.5 years, and they made...
Look, I know the law. I know that you need 10 years to be wanting someplace for you to actually call it yours, the whole lot. Do you know what I mean? There's still a helicopter over it right now, sure. This is what I'm saying to you. All they're trying to do, yeah, is to knock this whole fucking place down, to build up a load of shitty fucking apartments for a bunch of college kids. Do you know what I mean?
Now, just to give you an update of exactly what's happening, Keith, you were looking at the video as well. For people, essentially, they took over derelict property. It was derelict.
Essentially, it does look like derelict property. It looks quite run down. The area around it. Yeah, it's a warehouse of a very well-known company that does sells kind of doors and that sort of stuff. So what I can see from the video here, and we will pop this up on our page now in a couple of minutes, it seems there's about 10, 15 guards maybe in the video who've been blocked off by railings, and there's a lot of guys behind it who are literally trying to keep these guards out. And I think Kenneth maybe alluded to it earlier. There does seem to be a piece of paper that a member of it looks like maybe the council or someone is waving at their faces. I don't know if this is the documents that they claim to have or not. We don't know. But it's about a 12-minute long video, and I've just been sent a tweet in the last minute or so of, I can't confirm where this is, but I'm going to assume it's of what we were talking about. It's a Garda helicopter shining down a light on what I can only assume is where Kenneth and the lads are tonight.
That's it, pal. That's exactly where it is. I'm on the way down now, so.
Yeah. Okay, we'll come back to you in just a sec. What do you feel these guys should do? Because they, as Sarah, you were saying, bottom line, you know, all very well meaning and all that, but they moved into a place 2.5 years ago. It wasn't theirs. They didn't pay for it. They didn't buy it. They didn't rent it. They didn't lease it. And they made something of it. And now time's up. They're being kicked out.
Exactly. Look, he can make something brilliant out of it, but when it's not his and it's time to go, it's time to go. You may go. You've no right to be there.
So are you saying to them, get out?
I'm telling him to get out. And if he said earlier on about if he had to pay somewhere, he'd start charging the kids. So just get out, find somewhere else and charge them.
Okay, hold on a second. Dylan's on the line as well. Dylan, you're live on FM104. Go ahead. Oh, he's listening on the 10-second delay as well.
Hello?
Yes, Dylan, go ahead.
Yeah, see, that's the third one.
We'll go to Sabrina. Hello, Sabrina. How are you?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, come here. What would you rather? Like, would you rather kids on the street injecting themselves, smoking gear and all that shit, like, or having a...
So you're saying that's the choice? If you don't let us live someplace for free and take over a house, we're all going to be mad drug addicts and inject ourselves. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, most of the kids these days are.
No, they're not. Most of the kids are not drugged.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, Chris.
You're talking absolute hogwash.
Hold on a minute. Every corner you walk in town,
so most of the kids, if you don't allow them to squat somewhere, they're going to turn out to be drug dealers and drug addicts. Is that what you're saying to me?
No, come here.
Chris, they squatted for 2.5 years and there was still drug addicts. What the fuck are you on about?
See anyone injecting themselves. Sarah, you don't know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about.
No, you don't know what you're talking about. Hold on for a minute. You walk through town and you see on every corner that there's people injecting themselves. They're either asking you for money for drugs. They're asking you to buy.
Are you telling me that's because they've nowhere to go because they want to do art or record music?
Hold on a minute. What is wrong with them rapping in a studio? What is wrong with it?
There's nothing wrong with it when the property is being paid for.
Yeah, and if there was anyone around to pay for it, well then there you go.
So you're saying, hold on, whoa, Sabrina, you saying that they took over a property 2.5 years ago. It wasn't theirs. They didn't rent it, didn't buy it, they didn't lease it,
couldn't find out who
and they probably couldn't find out who owned the bloody place. They made something of it. They did it up. It was there's a lot of positive stuff there, but the bottom line, it wasn't theirs.
Yeah, but no one else had a problem with it.
Yeah, but it's not their property.
Do you not get it? It isn't there. It isn't theirs. It actually isn't theirs.
Them to pay for the building, they would have paid for it, obviously.
Hold on a second, Peter. You're working on the new site. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but that's it. They're trying to stop workers.
Tell me.
These crack houses, they're trying to stop workers. Like what they want?
So it's a crack house now, is it?
Well, it's near enough. You know what I mean? From what I've seen.
Well, you tell us. What have you seen?
Well, it's the kids. You know what I mean? What they want? They want to stop people walking. They just want to have a little play and spray wild and hang around doing garden all day. What? They want to get in the real world, wouldn't they?
So what you're saying is, look, it's not yours. Get out, and the game's up.
The place has to redevelop.
At the end of the day, right, what world do you live in? Spraying walls and all that. Some kids have a talent. You know, it's called drawing. Some kids have a talent, it's called scripting, it's graffiti.
You do that in school.
Fucking idiot.
You do that in school, you don't do fucking pushing around spraying walls.
Yeah, I only rang my own mate's ma there last week to turn around and tell her that her son was bad as hell. Sorry, because you haven't got an ounce of talent in you. Have you? Have you not got an ounce of talent in you? Not one thing. Well, you never wanted to do something, well, you know. Well, you never a kid who wanted to
on the new site.
What did you do? Be a fucking idiot? Is that what it was? You stupid cunt, listen to me, you.
Easy on the language, Kenneth.
Down here, right? They know how to dance. They know how
Which is fine. You cannot. No one's a problem with that. Nobody.
The circus that entertained your own fucking family was down here last week. They were hanging. Sorry about the language, but I'm telling you outright, the circus that entertained your family was hanging from the ceilings here last week. Not a penny asked for. Why would you? It's called, like, it's free, you know what I mean? Why would you bother turning around to somebody and saying, here, look, I'm going to have to fucking charge you for this? You know what I mean? We're not getting it for nothing. Yeah, of course, would you?
Chris, can I come back in there?
Go ahead, yeah.
Come back in there, you
shit. Yeah, you're a real good example to teenagers, but anyway.
I'm the one that has me talking like this,
right? No, you have yourself talking like that. That's your attitude. You have no self-control. That's all that's wrong with you. But anyway, did you not just say that you wanted to redevelop that for a college student?
Well, turn around and say to me, yeah? All you could say to me, right, was that, you want to get out of here? You have to get out, you idiot. You haven't a clue. Have you got kids, seriously, have you?
I have. I've 3 of them and I'm expecting another one.
You've got 3. I'm telling you, I'm expecting another myself. Congratulations. Do you know, all it is, yeah, is that, look, if one of your kids are troubled, yeah, they're not going to fucking listen to you or nothing like that, yeah? And I don't mean that in a smart way. I mean, but they listen to Mark, but they don't really listen to Mark. Do you know what
I have a 15-year-old teenager that was in his...
Hold on, let me have my side out, because you've had yours, Gobby. Yeah, all it is, yeah, if that was happening, yeah, and your young fella happened to find a talent, like art, like dancing, like anything, rapping, writing songs, singing, it doesn't matter. I have the instruments here for the piano, the whole lot. You know what I mean? If you have any of their talent at all, I take witness to that, and I turn around them and say, why don't you come down here, pal? Don't stay here, obviously, but come down here, pal, and see what I have to offer for you. Maybe you'd like some of this. Maybe you'd like to make some of yourself from absolutely nothing. No?
Hang on, Kenneth, hold on a sec. People can see where you're coming from. What you did, you took something that was a shack, that was an empty shell, it was a hole. You made something positive for it, for the local kids and yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. Nobody is giving out about that. The only problem was the foundation. I mean, you didn't know who owned it, who was the owners. You took it over. Did it ever... Come on. I want a straight answer to this. Did it ever occur that at some stage the game is going to be up?
No, the game isn't up. I'm telling you out straight, Chris. All you have to do is get a couple of recordings and you'll see there's 100 or 200 people out where there is now, yeah? Out straight, there's about 5, 6 police, that's it. That's all it is. I'm telling you out straight, Chris. And all these people...
Did it ever occur to you? Did it ever occur to you that all the good work you did is going to go because, you know, it ain't your gaff?
It is, Richie. All these people, I'm telling you, all these people, yeah, they're here to help us. There's absolutely no documents to turn around and say that this is yours, so you illegally do this by taking constitutional rights away. Isn't that a fact, Chris? Do you know your law?
I do know me law. Believe it or not, more so than you think. But the bottom line is, common sense will dictate to you that the courts make these decisions, not you. Did you buy it? No. Did you rent it? No. Have you squatters' rights? Debatable. The court will decide on that. Did you do something good with it? Clearly you did. You did it really well, and there's a lot of positive stuff you're saying. But this really, you know, I'm sorry, Kenneth, with all the goodwill in the world, this makes no logical sense whatsoever. None.
Here's one for you. All the guys are going to walk away in 5 minutes. Why? Why is that guy? Can you tell me that so we can tell this fella guy?
Kenneth, if I find a house that is derelict and go in and do it up.
Yeah, I'll fuck you out of it. Don't be worrying about it. You have to believe him up because you'd be quick to do it to me, wouldn't you?
Fucking thing with you. That's the thing. That's what I'm explaining to you. I can do what I want. I can make the house beautiful.
Do it to me.
It's not mine.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying to you.
There's about 200 people now, and there's not one king. There's not one king being sold. We're all on FM104.
Nobody's still not yours.
No, Joe, all we're doing.
They're all talking right.
Yeah, we're all talking here, yeah, and everyone's gonna. I'd imagine they're all just gonna give up and walk away because they're not getting nowhere.
They're just discussing them, man. Just let them talk about it.
There we go. They're just talking about it now, Chris. You heard it yourself. We're all standing here watching it.
There's about 6 riot vans lined up at the top of the road.
6 more riot vans lined up the top of the road. We're about 30 to 40 coppers in the. Now, what's all that about?
What do you think it's about?
What do you mean? What?
I'm asking you. You're there. I don't know. You tell me, Kenneth.
It's intimidation. That's exactly what it is.
You think they're just trying to come the heavy on you? Is that what you think?
There's one with a gun, sure. There's one with a gun, an actual gun, for a protest. Come on, Chris. A protest. Trying to get your house back. Not even to get your house back, but trying to find a place to stay tonight. And maybe this will all be handy. Has it stopped?
Yeah,
what they done?
They've
agreed to leave completely. They're not coming back. You heard about that? We fucking won, Chris.
Who's agreed to leave?
All the Garda, all the workmen, the man himself, everything. They've all agreed to leave. Who won now? The people? Most deaf.
Tomorrow's another day, Kenneth.
Who won now, love? The people, yeah? The Joe turned around and said, they're not worth living in a house. The people that Joe turned around and said, they're not worth coming down here and doing things for. Know what I mean? The people that Joe turned around and said,
Kenneth, if you actually shut up,
all fucking won.
If
you dizzy bitch.
Shut your mouth, tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is another day, Kenneth.
And the day won't even come, and you can guarantee that. There's shit everywhere here. They're all leaving.
You're above the law. Would that be right, Kenneth?
We all won. How about that?
Are you above the law?
Hey, I won't just
Are you above the law?
Hey, I won't.
Are you above...
There's a phrase, you may have won the battle, you didn't win the war. Aaron is on the air. Aaron, you're live on FM104. How are you?
How you doing, Chris?
Not bad. Okay, there's...
A bit of common sense here. This guy, I don't know who he is, but he sounds like an absolute tug. Whatever he's
doing, you fucking Southside easy. You haven't got a clue.
Kenneth.
Okay, first of all...
Kenneth, can you just put a sock in it for a moment?
Look, I'm not a tug, yeah? I'm nothing like it, mate, yeah? I might have a strong Dublin accent, but that's because I'm from the north side.
Your accent.
Everybody fucking else. Do you know what I mean?
Is it
this is a north side Dublin problem. You'd have to go and see south side.
Am I allowed to speak? Can I make a point? No?
Make a point.
Yeah. I don't think
make a proper one, will you?
Well, if you'll give me the opportunity, I will. First of all, I doubt you've studied any law because you're going to be out in your ear very quickly, and there'll be a lot of people having a good laugh at that fact because you sound like an absolute scumbag on the radio. You sound like someone you would not want your kids anywhere near. The words you've been using are an absolute disgrace. You don't have any rights there whatsoever. You haven't bought anything. You haven't rented anything. You haven't leased anything. You have nothing. You don't have any ground to stand on. In fact, you just come across just ridiculous.
Community, not for anybody else. The community, not for us, not for nobody else. That's why we don't fucking charge, pal. And I will continue not to charge if anybody wants to come down and see this shit. No problem. There's an exhibition down here that is.
An exhibition? Sure, just listen to the language coming out of you. An exhibition, what is it, for over 21s?
For over 21s? Oh yeah, you ain't in, you won't get in.
What do you do with these?
You ain't in, you're not going to get in. Come on, I'll be trying to creep our way into this club, yeah?
Can we talk on an equal intelligence level here, no? What are you doing at these exhibitions? What are you providing?
A chance to exhibit art in its fullest form.
Sorry?
And it's music. A chance to exhibit art, a chance to exhibit music, a chance to exhibit anything. Here, you could come down and see the circus.
And you've bought this property, have you?
No, huh?
You bought this property, have you?
Listen, right, pal, this is what you've been saying to me, right? This is what everyone's been saying to me, right? I haven't bought this property, right? But no, come here, I haven't bought this property. But the man that came... No, come here. No, your point is made, right?
You're a criminal.
The man that tried to say that this property was not his.
But it's not yours.
But it's not his. So what is it? So it's full come, full served.
What have you first come first?
It's not. It doesn't work like that. Come on, Kenneth.
Let me tell you something. Pal. Look, come here. Look, if someone gave something to you, I'm not trying to take it from you. What would you do?
It won't be very long until you're out in your rear there and you can talk about your exhibition.
You can talk about your language. You can... Turn on FM104. Turn on FM104.
Yeah, look, it's all a big laugh to you now at 11:15 on a Monday night, but we'll see how long more you're there.
Turn on FM104.
Okay, the bottom line is, for people joining us late, and it does seem extraordinary, took over a derelict building 2.5 years ago. Doesn't belong to them. They've had no... they've no legal right to it. They didn't rent it, they didn't lease it, they didn't buy it. In fact, it was debatable who owned the place. To be fair, a lot of positive things happened. Kenneth said they did it up. There were 50 people involved at least. The guards came this morning to try and get them out. It's a bit of a mass eviction. That is what's happening all day and indeed tonight as well. I think because... we are covering this, they've pulled back and the guards will come back tomorrow. However, as you were saying, Aaron, common sense will dictate to you, if I take over a derelict building next door, and we had one near us, somebody owns that building.
Of course.
At some stage, they're going to come back and say, would you mind moving?
Yeah. It's basic law, it's basic principles, it's basic economics. The guy doesn't have a clue what he's talking about. It's not going to be long before he's out in his ear. I can't imagine what services he's providing given the way he's speaking on the radio tonight. I didn't catch all of it at the beginning, but from what I've heard from him, he sounds like an absolute thug. But the law is the law. The law has to be respected. We had some tough times in this country. It doesn't mean you can just move in where you like. No rent, no lease, no payment, nothing. Who is this guy? And who gives him the authority to speak on behalf of all these other couriers that are around him?
Well, Kenneth, there you go. To be fair, you're not the spokesperson for any of these people.
It's all a big laugh to Kenneth.
It's not a laugh to me. How's it a laugh to me, Pat? Oh, come here. How's taking young fellas in on the street, right? How's taking young fellas in on the street and young ones in on the street and all that kind of stuff? From around the fucking areas, yeah?
Great language. Great example there, Kenneth.
How's that great language, great example? Come here, there's not nobody use them words, no.
Not nobody use what?
There's nobody use them words, no. What? There's nobody use them words, no.
You don't come across
nobody use them words, no.
Not to the amount you do.
Do you know what I mean?
You're using effing and blind, and is this the way when you, what do you have, 8 and 10-year-olds?
On the radio looking for help and I got that. I got on the radio looking for help and I got that, pal. 300, 400 people doing turn up here. Elderly women are about 90 the whole lot. Outside. So it doesn't matter to me. We won. Thank you very much.
You haven't won. Hang up. Go on.
That's what I asked you for.
You've lost, mate. You've lost.
I asked for people to come down and help me, and that's exactly what happened now. Of all these people came down and helped me.
Will we review the situation legally, will we?
From all ages, if they came down here to help. Now, what the fuck am I doing wrong?
What legal ground do you have to stay there, to work there, to be in there?
The squatters' rights.
Squatters' rights. Okay, what act is that? What jurisdiction are you talking from there?
Oh, come here, pal, look.
Come on.
Don't come on, me, like you're fucking Rocky Balboa with the fucking charge sheets.
I'm just asking for some information.
Listen to me, don't throw it to me like you're Rocky Balboa with the charge sheets or something, pal, yeah? Don't be giving her all that like you know fucking everything, yeah, bro. Now,
right.
I'm not a fucking Dr. fucking Zeus, am I? I can't explain every single fucking fact of it, but I can't tell you one thing.
What kids do you have in there when you're talking like this? Are you effing them blind and as you're teaching them to dance and sing, yeah?
And you've never broke into a house. You're fucking not doing nothing wrong.
Broken into a house. No normal citizens.
No, come here. If you do that house up, it's just like a child.
Your real name.
Fucking until somebody actually real turns up for that child.
Who are these people, Chris?
I have. It really does take the biscuit. It really does.
That's unbelievable, mate.
It really does.
I leave you there. Listen, it's unbelievable. As far as I can see, I'll sum it up. It's completely illegal. They've no right to be there. Any small bit of good that's being done there could be done in a local community or resource centre. At this stage, it's probably going to turn into a battlefield. There's no legal right, and he just sounds like an absolute tug full of expletives.
There are a lot of text messages, as you can imagine, coming into us. I'll just read the last one came in there. I want the social services to shut him down. I can't believe he actually works with kids. Unofficially, that is. Anyway, we'll check to see. That thing is going to go on and on and on. As you can well imagine. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on it. We will keep an eye on it.